Brooklyn Nets and the New York Knicks here, and the Nets after the blockbuster deal were undermanned in this one, obviously, but Kevin Durant leads the Nets to another victory in this one, 116 to 109. The Nets improved to 7-6, and the Knicks now have lost four in a row, and they fall to 5-7. We'll go to the box score here, and we'll go to the Nets side of things. Deandre Jordan, he's going to be the starting center now with Jared Allen out of town in the James Harden deal, and he had a pretty decent game now. 9 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists. Jordan, he's probably going to play anywhere from 25 to 30 minutes because the Nets' only backup at center right now is Nick Claxton. He didn't play in this one, and they went with a more small ball lineup with Jeff Green at center at times and also Harris. So right here, Deandre Jordan, he's available in about 55% of fantasy leagues, and he should be owned. Jeff Green, 32 minutes of play, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 or 6 shooting from the field, 3 for 4 from downtown. So Green, he's not going to be much of a fantasy guy unless you're in the deepest of leagues, but he's starting for this net team. And with James Harden and if Kyrie Irving comes back soon, we'll see if he'll continue. Bruce Brown, he got the start in this one. 15 points, 14 boards, 2 assists, 6 of 13 from the field, and 0 for 2 from downtown. So Bruce Brown, he's been playing well now the last couple games, and the only way he'll really have fantasy value as well, if Irvin's going to be out a while or it takes time for James Harden to pass the protocol and his physical to come here and play for the Brooklyn Nets. But Brown, it was a good game. He's a guy maybe you could stream one more night, and then after that, he's not going to have value. So Kevin Durant, he's been doing work this season, and he hasn't missed a beat. And another good game for Durant, 26 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, 10 of 18 from the field, and 3 for 5 from downtown. So even if Irvin comes back and James Harden arriving, I think Kevin Durant, he's still going to put up big numbers. He's still the best player on this Brooklyn team, and we've seen it before where Durant played on a team with 2 great scorers like Curry and Thompson, and his numbers really didn't take a hit. So Kevin Durant, he's all the way back, and even with this trade, his fantasy value is going to be the same. He's going to average 26, 28 points a game still, and this net team, they're going to be tough to beat. Joe Harris, 15 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 6 of 13 from the field, and 3 for 8 from downtown. So Harris, he'll either start at small forward or he'll come off the bench now once the Nets have everyone together and they get things going here in Brooklyn. But Harris, he's a good shooter. He's still going to have fantasy value. He's going to have a valuable role on this team no matter what, because when you got scorers like Durant and Harden, you need those outside scorers and shooters. And I think Harris will do it. TLC, 24 minutes of play, 13 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 of 13 from the field, 2 of 8 from 3. So TLC, he's played a major role with this net team this season, but he just hasn't been consistent enough to have fantasy value. And now after this trade, his minutes most likely will go down. Now to the Knicks side of things. Mitch Robinson, another double-double. 10 points, 12 boards, 2 assists for Mitch, 5 of 9 from the field. So Mitch Robinson, he's been playing better the last few games for this Knicks team. And the key for him, he's staying out of foul trouble. But obviously, he was drafted in the 4th or 5th round of most fantasy leagues. And right now, he's not doing that much in the scoring category, but his rebounds are good, and he's blocking about 2.5 shots a game. So Robinson, he's going to play a lot. Obviously, Thibodeau, he has short rotations. And Robinson, he's getting every opportunity here. And he's been playing well now over the last 4 or 5 games. R.J. Barrett, it was good to see him have a bounce-back game and shoot pretty decent from the field. 20 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 7 of 15 from the field, and 1 for 4 from downtown. So Barrett, he's a player whose stock was on the low this week, but hopefully he could get things going again. And on the rise, he's going to get every opportunity. He should be owned in most fantasy leagues, unless you're in a shallow 8 or 10 team league. He's going to play. He's playing 35, 40 minutes a game with Thibodeau, and he'll get a shot going. It takes a few years for these players to develop their jump shot, but once Barrett does, he's going to be a great player. Alfred Payton, he had an off game in this one. 7 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 of 11 from the field, and 1 for 3 from downtown from Mr. Alfred Payton. So Payton, he still has value. Emmanuel Quickly, I know he played well in this ball game, but Payton, he's still going to get 25 to 35 minute range. and he should be a player most owned in most fantasy leagues as well. Julius Randle, another nice game for him, 30 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. 13 to 25 from the field, then he added 2 threes. So Randle this season, he's really fitting in well in Tom Thibodeau's system, and he's having huge games, and he's giving you a lot of different stats with his rebounds, assisting, and his field goal percentage has been pretty good as well, where in this game he did shoot over 50%. So Julius Randle, he's been a solid player, and so far in fantasy this year, he's top 15 to 20. Austin Rivers, he had an off night in this one. 8.6 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 of 10 from the field, and 2 for 5 from downtown. So the thing with Austin Rivers, I think he's better off the bench because, lesser guys are going to guard you than the starters on most team lineups. And Rivers, we seen this season when he came off the bench for this Knicks team, he's been playing better. So I think if Reggie Bullock comes back on Friday night versus Cleveland, we'll see Bullock back in the starting lineup and Rivers back to the bench. But Rivers, I wouldn't drop him just yet. I would wait a few more games, and if the struggles continue for him, then I would drop him off my fantasy roster. Kevin Knox, the last few games, his shooting's improving, and he's starting to put up good stats for this Knicks team. 5 of 6 from the field, 2 for 3 from downtown, 13 points, 2 rebounds. So Kevin Knox, at least he's just giving this Knicks team something after they drafted him early in the draft a few seasons ago with the 9th pick overall, and it's a make-or-break season for Knox, and at least he's contributing. Right now for fantasy basketball, I don't think he has value unless he steps in the starting lineup or something, or just has huge games. Emmanuel Quickly, the first-round pick this season for the Knicks, 22 minutes of play, 19 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 7 of 15 from the field, and 3 of 6 from downtown. So Quickly, we've seen some flashes from him so far in the early going in this season, but we got to see more consistency, more playing time, because there's some games he's played 28, 30 minutes, and then some games like a few nights ago where he played 5 to 9 minutes. So Quickly, if he could shoot like this and contribute off the bench, he'll have a bigger role for this Knicks team. But at this time, he's not a recommended pickup. And Obi Toppin, he was a healthy scratch in this one. A coach DMP, he finally got activated, was Toppin. And Toppin, he was the 8th pick overall this season for the Knicks in the draft. They liked him a lot. They almost traded up to go get him. But here in this one, he just didn't play the minutes at all. And hopefully in their next game on Friday, Toppin's going to get an opportunity to play and show what he has. But right now, he's only worth an ad in 14 and 16 team leagues or deeper 12 team leagues. So that was the Brooklyn Nets and New York Knicks recap.